I think we can call the meeting to order. I'd like to call it to order at 4 p.m. And on January the 12th, 2022. Public comment. No public comment? Okay, thank you all for being here. I'll ask for approval of the last minutes from the meeting of December the 10th.
I move that the minutes be approved as submitted.
I second that.
Okay, they've been approved. Thank you very much. Financial report.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Today we have warrants for January that totals $36,269.42. The total for payroll is $19,000. Oh, sorry, I just realized I have a little typo on there. 1 second here. $19,913.21. And that includes Chief Carlton's salary of $5,541.67, along with Chief Shield's pay of $3,333.34. And there was one event for each of the commissioners and the board secretary. And the total payout for volunteers, warrants included, is $14,050. And the December year-end statements will be available at the February meeting. I have the tentative end dollar figure for the year, but Whatcom County doesn't close their fiscal year until about January 20th. And so that's when they'll process the year-end reports, get those to me, and I will double check numbers and then have some final carryover for you next month to invest into capital investment. So today we just have the warrants and payroll for January that I'm requesting approval for.
A question.
Yes.
The number I believe you just read differs from what is on the financial support report that I received.
Yes.
I assume that the correct amount for payroll is $19,913.21. Is that correct?
That is correct. I did not double check that, and I don't know who typed that, although that was me, so pardon me. Yes, that is the correct amount, 19,913.21.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I would entertain a motion to accept the warrants.
I recommend that we accept the warrants as presented
And the payroll.
and payroll.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, they are passed. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. And then I just have an update on the budget.
Okay,
And as of December 31st, 2021, the total remaining of the budget was 12.53%. And that was compared to 14.49% as of December 31st, 2020.
okay. Any questions about that? We're not a very questioning group. All right. Thank you very much, Patty.
Thank you.
We always appreciate your reports.
Thank you.
Any correspondence, Chief?
Some Christmas cards that we received, obviously emails. I don't consider it correspondence, but emails about the testing and the vaccinations, and some thank you for the great job that everybody's doing during this time continuously. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Would you like to move right on into your report?
Sure. I'd like to go back to the financial. I'm going to be getting together with Patty and coming up with all the year-end numbers once the county completes their books. So we can know that'll be brought to you hopefully in February. I think that's when we do it for you guys to make the decision on where to put that funds into capital reserve, savings, those types of things. And move forwards. With that, I'm trying to think, it'll come back to me, but I'll go to my chief's report and I'll probably come back to something else. So I apologize.
Okay.
So this is my chief's report for January 2022. Can everybody believe it's 2022? So 2022 for December of 2021. So COVID testing continues on Sundays and Wednesdays from 9 to 11. You still wouldn't believe how many phone calls we get, emails regarding when we have COVID testing. Some people think it's 10 to noon, and I'm like, well, we publish it out to pause, point interface, next door. It's on the EL Point Bulletin. They have that listed there too. So there's plenty of avenues. Some people state that they aren't on pause, point interface, or next door. And I'm like, if you live here, you need to be on pause, point interface, next door, or the EL Point Bulletin. You have to be on one of those sites to know what's going on. So vaccinations are happening twice a month and published in pause, point interface, next door, and the APB. We'll now be offering, starting January 23rd, Pfizer. We've been pretty much offering Moderna and J&J, but now we'll be offering Pfizer. Doing kids younger than 12 years old, that's a question because it's a different dose for Pfizer. And I've gotten some emails regarding, 11-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds. And I think I need to put that out to the group to see if that's something we would like to start, or that we need to start offering. Because there's really not a lot of children in our community that took advantage of the pediatric clinics that the clinic had over these past month and a half. They were offering the 5 to 11-year-old shots, and I think very few participated. I think most of the participation we would have then would be coming in from the north. So that's a discussion I think we need to have, just so if we do decide to do it, we understand the differences between the dosing and we don't get those mixed up, obviously, at the events. My vehicle, the Tahoe, is out of service. Its front differential is getting basically rebuilt. It went out, and that's going to be about $3,200 of unplanned expenses to a 2012 Tahoe. So just to let the commissioners know that all the other rigs are doing fine, and engine 58 is back from maintenance on that. So we've dropped a couple members to hirings in the Lower Mainland. We now have 43 members, 28 Canadian, 10 Point Roberts, 5 county, 4 paramedics still on staff, 11 EMTs, of which 5 are advanced EMTs, 2 ambassadors, 34 firefighters. I'll be sending at least 2 people to EMT training, 1 possibly to advanced EMT training, starting most likely in the month of February or later this month. So they'll start that training out of Idaho. Volunteer hours for the month of December of 2021, 2,429. If all volunteers were getting paid, payroll would have been 16,295. I worked my 160 hours, 19 hours of that was from vacation. So 141 hours and 19 hours of vacation was taken in December. Assistant Chief Shields, 106.5. Total chief hours for December, 266.5. We had 36 calls in the month of December. EMS calls were 16. We had 4 transports from our agency to St. Joseph's Hospital, and we had 12 no transports. We had 9 community paramedic events. We had 5 public service events, and we had 6 fire classifications, which break down into 2 false alarms. We have 2 gas leaks in the month of December. We had 1 wrong address dispatched to us, and we had the 1 carbon monoxide event that the public is aware of. Right now, I've received or going to receive, I haven't received the check yet, a $5,000 donation to purchase carbon monoxide alarms here for the community. I'm working with Nielsen's at this point to hopefully be able to purchase a couple hundred carbon monoxide alarms with those funds. We're actually calling First Alert and seeing if they'll provide us 200 carbon monoxide detectors for that amount. They are moderately expensive, around $30 to $40, depending on the time. And we want to get a nice one for the people, not the cheapest one here. So we want to have something that has a electronic readout, that gives CO amounts, that tells people to evacuate, that's easily understood and able to be reset to if it decides to go off. So hopefully by the end of the month, by next meeting, I can report that those are being purchased or have already been purchased. And then obviously we'll have a community rollout for those individuals who have circumstances inside their homes that would produce carbon monoxide possibly, and that currently don't have them. I'll take any questions on my chief's report.
Go ahead.
Yes, I have a comment and the question. The comment is that I'm really delighted to hear about the carbon monoxide detectors being made available to residents here. That's just fantastic, and it's obviously very important. What was the source of the $5,000 grant or gift, Chief Carlton?
They're a private donor, and they want to stay private at this time.
Okay, that's fine. Also, do you think it's time for us to consider replacing your Tahoes so that you can keep up with Assistant Chief Shields' fine vehicle?
My new vehicle is going to have more lights than his.
Will never happen.
Is that
Never
possible? Well, how about antennas? Can you beat them there?
That will never
No,
happen either.
because he'll beat me on antennas and radios for sure. But right now, my vehicle has 137,000 miles on it. I want to take it to 150 before I start looking for a new vehicle this coming up year. That may happen this year, may not. So it may be 2023 by the time we're looking at replacing that vehicle. The other thing I would like to mention is I am starting to work again. I contacted the county and the same person, Don Ammett from the county, who helped us put together the capital facilities plan that we currently have in place. We're looking at updating that this year. There's a possibility I would wait until next year because the county is coming up with a new guidance on calculating or averaging in new construction, and everybody's going to have to adhere to that. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think there's some areas that I can easily update, working with Patty and getting the numbers they're requesting to see if we're ahead of that plan, if we're doing well, or if we're getting farther behind with our capital facilities needs. That really included about 1.8 million of identified capital reserve, capital needs that we would like to accomplish over this plan. But we also, I believe, start going into deficit in, I believe, 2028 if we don't have any surprises in regards to costs in running the district. So I'll have to review the plan with Don. Talk to him about what he feels is the best. I don't think new construction will affect our plan very much because we don't see a big boom, happening here per se. I think it would affect districts in the other parts of the county more. But I'll talk to him, and hopefully in February, I'll be able to give you a report on that if we've started making changes or updates to that plan, or if we're going to be waiting until 2023. Any questions on that?
Thank you.
Okay.
I think it's prudent. We put it in place in 2018. So I definitely believe it's prudent to actually, take a look at it this year. This is our 4th year in it, to be as judicious as we can to the public and have it updated if necessary with certain numbers. Maybe not the entire document, but at least hopefully where we are financially at this point.
Well, it certainly has proven to be a good tool for keeping the public updated with what you've been doing. And I think it's great to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and I think, next month, if I'm able to participate in the meeting, maybe I'd like to bring it up and share it with you, go over the items that we have planned for each year and tell you what we've been able to accomplish and currently what has been spared at this point, and we haven't had the funds to accomplish. So maybe that's a good idea to do so the public can see that as well.
I agree. Thank you. Anything else, Chief?
I don't have anything. Chief Shields, do you have anything to add? can you take yourself off mute?
Trying that. No, I don't have anything to add to that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business that we need to take up? Okay, going. New business, and I don't know if this belongs in new business or old business, but I think you all probably already know that Ray Newman is leaving, I guess, the point, and has resigned as of the 31st of January. So we will be in the process of replacing his position. And thank you, Ray, for your services. We will, and you want to say anything?
Just that it's been an honor and a privilege to work with you folks, and I really appreciated the opportunity, and thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any
Thank
other?
you, Commissioner. Really appreciate your time, your guidance, your thoughts, your participation with the district over this time frame. And I wish you the best in the future, whatever that may bring you, and to your wife as well.
Thank you very much, Chief Carlton. I feel very much the same. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, no new business. Well, Pat has just joined us in his picture. We're nice to see you.
Well, nice to see you. I've been here all along, but I've been blanked out. Is it time to ask a question? I'm not sure where I am in the agenda.
Well, it starts at the beginning, but we'll let you do it now.
Thank you. Chief Carlton, I think it was the last meeting that you talked about how you were down 5 members, and I just got a low battery warning that you're down 5 members, and you're going to do a membership recruitment drive. Has that happened?
Yeah, we're in the process of doing that, and it starts this month. So we've already been taking emails and resumes. To be honest with you, I was going to check tomorrow night. We have our first practice of the year, so I was going to check with the captains and firefighters that are in charge of that to see how many applicants we have, and then we'll start the testing process.
Okay. Can I ask you what the gender split is at the fire department? Out of 43 members, how many are female?
Sure. Right now we have, well, on the entire agency, we have 4 on staff.
Okay.
Out of 43, out of 43 members at this point.
Would that be something that you would hope we'd be looking to increase, perhaps?
Well, sure. I mean, if they're capable of doing the job, I'm not going to increase if, you know, I'm not going to hire a male or a female or anybody that's incapable of doing the job. So, you know, my job is to make sure people, whoever they may be, if we have 40 women on the organization because they're the best that we can provide the community, and they're the best that come through our hiring process, then the agency is going to be 40 women. If I have 40 transgender people, same thing. You know, gay, doesn't matter, LGBTQIA. If they're the best people that we can bring on the agency, then they're going to be there in the front, and they're going to be walking through your door. So we always do our best to look at every applicant justly and equally, and bring on the best people for our community. And again, if those end up being all women, then that's going to be my next class, or you know, the classes in the future. But if you know, we have men that perform better, and we don't have any females that are able to pass our physical agility or do the job physically, then we may have to look at other genders at that point. But it's my job to do the best I can to fulfill our positions with the best possible people, regardless of where they come from, how they identify, who they love, or anything like that. I don't look at that when I come into hiring. I look at the individual and what they bring to the table.
Okay, thanks. Last question. What would be the split between fire calls versus EMS calls?
We're pretty equal here in Point Roberts, actually. So right now, I'd have to say last year we were probably close to a 50-50 split, but Pat, I can have Chief Shields look at the numbers and try to get those to you in the next couple of days to give you a specific amount. I don't want to quote something wrong and then have somebody request, actual numbers.
Okay. And finally, those physical standards or requirements that you talk about, is that something that's like available to look at to see what they involve?
Sure. Our physical agility follows basically the CPAT, which is the Candidate Physical Agility Test, which is a national exam that has been challenged by legal proceedings, but has been upheld as the initial firefighter exam. So anybody getting a career job has to pass the CPAP. In Canada, they come down and take the CPAP here, usually in the United States because it's cheaper, but they can also take it, I believe, correct me, Chief Shields, if I'm wrong, at the JIBC, offers it there. And then anybody else pretty much takes it at, what's the college south of Tacoma, John? There's a college south of Tacoma that offers the CPAT as well. And then some agencies offer it. They've been able to purchase. It's about $20,000 to $25,000 to purchase the equipment. And it's through the IFF and the IFC who have developed that. So it's CPAT, if you want to look it up. And we have certain events from that physical agility that we run here. It's not the entirety of that because we just don't have the equipment, but there's a dummy drag, there's an equipment carry, there's a hose carry as well, up and down some flights of stairs to test out somebody's cardiovascular as well, and a hose drag as well. And then that pretty much sums it up. They have 4.5 minutes to pass the exam, and that's pretty much walking through the physical agility.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, go ahead, Linda.
Thanks. Chief, I'd like you, if you could please identify what the full name of that CPAP is, the acronym. I didn't catch it all.
I believe it stands for Candidate Physical Agility Test.
Candidate. I heard Canada.
Yeah, Candidate Physical. Canada did not create it.
Okay.
So Candidate Physical Agility Test.
Okay. And then one other question I had from earlier, do you want the review of the capital facilities plan on the agenda for next month, or will we just put it under?
Please put it on there. That'd be great. Just so I can bring it up. If we haven't been able to do anything on it, then I can just say that, but at least it's on the agenda.
Okay.
Good. Anybody else? Well, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move the meeting be adjourned.
Second.
At 4:22 p.m. Thank you all.
Okay, I will be coming and seeing the commissioners to sign the warrants, and I have some stuff for you to sign, Commissioner Luster, for BVFF too.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay,
Thank you all.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.
See you next
Happy New Year.
time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.